Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 80. It is October sometime.
9th.
There we go.
You should know that. You declared today.
Yes, today is knit on whatever the heck you want day. So I started a brand new hat, but we'll get to that in a couple seconds.
Because apparently knit on whatever you want means you must cast on something new.
That's not true for a lot of people. Maybe so much for me, but other people it might not be true.
Well,
Other people could use this as an opportunity to finish up projects. I'm not one of those
I was
people.
going to say, why are you looking at me? I finished most of my stuff.
I know. I was just saying in general. All right, I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. And
Welcome to the chaos.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the chaos. So, works in progress. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So I just decreased. I am making a hat. I read a blog by Galena C. And I'll link the blog in the show notes. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's, you tag stuff and you go back and read it every week. And she released a hat and mitten pattern. And the hat looks like this. And then on the mittens, the pattern goes sideways. So that would be like the mittens. And I had to cast it on immediately and purchase it. So I bought this Saturday night because I was trying to get Karen around the twist to knit it with me. That did not happen.
Laura always feels better when she brings other people into the madness.
Yep. So today was knit whatever the heck you want. So I cast this on around 11 o'clock this morning. Watched some Steeler victory. And I actually only knit on this from halftime on. I had already gotten it to that point. So it's a quick knit. It's taken me around 3 hours. I'm doing the decreases right now. I'm probably going to have to stop soon and get double points. I just didn't bring them over with me. So that is the Frostbite hat by Galena C. It is out of Eco and Eco Plus. And I did buy the purple at my local yarn shop, even though I'm not really buying.
How big this cake is.
The size of my head. Because they've upped the price on this. It was $15 roundabout a skein. And the new ones that are just now arriving at the knit shop are like $21 a skein. And I was like, this was the last one priced at $15, so I had to get it, obviously. And I had the gray already in my stash. So I'm using a little bit of stash yarn.
I think I have that gray or that light color in my stash, too.
So, and you can borrow some of the purple and then you can make one. I'm thinking I might be able to get 3 hat and mitten sets if I change up the colors and stuff out of this. So $30 for 3 hat mitten sets. I think it's going to be my basic go-to Merry Christmas thing for this year. So I thought that was a good deal. So Eco Plus by Cascade, and Frostbite hat, and then I'll do the mittens later by Galena C. I have tomorrow and Tuesday off for fall break, so I'm expecting a lot of knitting and spinning to get done. Next on the needles, so that was new. I have another new thing on the needles. I might be on a purple kick. I make no promises. Is the Age of Brass and Steam kerchief, which is a free pattern. That is the right side. And I'm pretty far, actually. I don't have a whole lot done. This fiber / yarn should look familiar. This is the Frabjous fibers that I had spun and plied last week. Starting to get knit up. And I only have, because it was only 250 yards, I have that much left. So I'll probably finish this week. I was talking to Leslie, and I contemplated staying up late and just working on this yesterday and today and getting it done, but then y'all hadn't seen it yet. I wanted to show it off to y'all.
Laura likes to have an FO every week.
I do.
So,
and I don't this week, and it kind of makes me sad.
But I mean, if you think about all of our viewers, how many of you, and I'm talking to you, so feel free to talk back, how many of you have a finished object every week? It's hard to do that. Especially if you have
especially if you're working on multiple projects.
Or...
yeah. I lay no claim to the kids, although someone attempted to give me one this week.
I'll give you one.
Well, that's a given. But I was leaving the yarn shop, and this woman was like, "You left your 2-year-old behind." And I was like, no, I didn't. Anyway, Next up, the cutest booties. The first one is done. This is an unknown yarn that I got from the Sweet Sheep yarn shop, which is still in business. Someone PM'd me to let me know. It's a Canadian company. First one's done. This is what I worked on the first half of the football game and a little bit last night. So I like how it came out. I still have to do the tie. I really hate doing garter stitching around though. Yeah. So this might be the only time that I use this pattern. But it's cute and it's wee.
It is cute.
So, and I love how it's striped. And it kind of, I think it'd be perfect to accompany the Elizabeth Zimmerman baby sweater.
That baby surprise.
Mm-hmm. Because that's garter too, and I think they'd be cute, just little
You could use the leftover
accents.
yarn to knit a baby surprise.
I could.
But then you have all that Christmas knitting looming.
Yeah. So those will be, I'm probably going to double the rest of the sock yarn and do a little hat for it and then send it to our friend Megan for her little girl. That's the plan anyways. And last but not least, do you have sock buckers over by you? Or are they all the way over?
I might have one.
All I need is one. All I need is one. Anyway.
Yep, sorry, don't have them.
That's okay. I finished the first Fire on the Mountain sock. It has a cute cable going up one side. They're much cuter on. And I'm in love, and I have started the second. You see how far I got?
She's like, I have to just get it on it.
Well, I was going to knit on it quite a bit and got distracted. So, buy new shiny things
You have
being
a lot
cast
going on
on
this week.
So, Fire on the Mountain socks that rock lightweight. The pattern is going to be a free one as soon as I write it up. It is from the toe up. And that's about it.
It looks heavier than fingering for some reason.
You know, socks that rock, I really think they're lightweight. The way it's spun makes it appear denser than typical 3-ply sock yarn.
It's pretty.
But it fits perfect, and I love the way it's striping a little bit as it goes. And even the gusset striping, like there's more black on that side, I didn't think was all that bad. And I think the camera is not doing it justice. It's looking a little bit more orange on the camera as I look at it. But I'm enjoying it immensely. I'll work on the second one sometime this week, I'm sure. And I love the bag that I have in Naturally Knitty. It's a bigger bag, so I have lots of space in there to roll around.
I'm distracted by your scars.
Leslie's dog tried to kill me when I came in.
He's still a puppy, so he's so excitable.
He's so excited to see his
I have
Auntie
a
Lala.
scar too here.
We're scar twins. So that's it for me and what's on the needles. 20 minutes in.
Okay, so for me, for works in progress, I have 3 things.
3?
3.
It's a magical number.
So I've showed y'all last week. I'm pretty sure I was done with this last week. The first sleeve for the sweater.
Yep.
And I started last night while I was watching a couple podcasts. I started the second one. I had to wind my second to last skein of yarn for that gray color. So I did the ribbing, I did the color work, and I'm starting the increases along this side. So that's my sitting, and I need, thought kind of knitting to it because it's just stockinette with 2 increases every 5 rows, which is pretty easy. So I started that. These are still on my size 6 4.0 millimeter glasspens.com. The glass needles.
I'm waiting for that sweater to end up in that line.
I'm watching. It's not there. And the beverage today is a sweetbread. So, let's see, what else? I have 2 other things, and I'm trying to remember what they are.
Cowl.
The cowl, which was my whatever you want to knit. So, and I've been wanting to knit this for a couple years, and I just never have kind of found the right yarn for it. So, when I got the cakewalk, I immediately thought of a neck warmer or a cowl, so I thought, oh, why not? I'll do that. So this is the cakewalk in Weenie. Is the colorway.
I love that color, and that colorway is so funny.
And There's the lady behind Cakewalk sent me a funny story about that, but I won't share it because I didn't get permission. But anyway, it's 463 yards of 75% merino, 25% nylon blend, and that's Cakewalk Yarns. And she still has the coupon code for the entire month of October. You can get free shipping anywhere in the world, and it's TheKnitGirlls with 3 L's, 10. So TheKnitGirlls 10. Anyway, so I started this
thermos, right?
This morning, I think. I'm pretty sure it was this morning. So yeah, and it calls for a worsted weight, but I just used fingering weight doubled, and it'll be fine.
I really like how that's speckling up.
Yeah, that's
gorgeous.
What I was kind of hoping for. It kind of barfed on me just there. So it's got 20 rows of ribbing at the bottom, and then it starts this sort of checkerboard basket weave kind of thing. And that goes on for a few inches, and then you do ribbing at the top with 2 little buttons. I didn't print the pattern out, I'm sorry. And
it's a thermos pattern.
It's thermos. It's a cowl. It's been around for a few years, yeah, because I've been wanting to knit it. I've been wanting to knit it. So that's that. And I really do like the colors and how they're kind of just randomly ending up places. So that's looking good. And then the last thing, which I was gonna try to have finished for this week, and then I forgot and left the camera at Laura's yesterday because we were spinning some stuff for the bulky flower video, and just forgot. And I have to film the end of how it joined it together, so I didn't finish it yet. So anyway, it's almost done. This is the yarn that's left. That's not knit, and this is my Another Crafty Girl October knit along, which is any pattern in any of her yarns. So it's just the real simple 1x1 ribbed cowl with a slip stitch on the edge. I'm telling you the pattern right now. You don't even have to download it. But when I cast it on, I did a provisional cast on, so I'll join the two together, and it'll be invisible, and then it'll be one piece, and you won't even be able to see that it was knit flat. That's it, and those are on my signature size 9s, 5.50 millimeters. So
my signature 9s decided to take a vacation this week.
But you found them.
I did. I got a new little case for my circular needles from Lexi Barnes, and I was putting my signatures in there, and I could not find the 9s for the life of me. And I was actually talking to Karen and Leslie while I was looking, and they were underneath my printer, because what I like to do is just hang out underneath the printer, but we found them. And my room got much cleaner in the
Crisis averted.
So you have the only finished object this week.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out where I was in that pattern. Our friend Lisa, Lazy Sock Monkey, she's reached out to a bunch of knitters, and she's got a bunch of people who've agreed to make a square for a blanket that she's going to raffle off for the Susan G. Komen fundraiser, the walk, which is later this month, I think. So I knit one up, and she wanted them all to be in pink or white, which is fine. So I knit one up using my size 8s, I think. Yeah, my size 8 signatures. It's a signature palooza this week. 5.0 millimeters. And I just did a simple cable pattern on Ravelry. I think it's the February Erin knit along or something. It's free. I'll take a picture and put it on my Ravelry page, and then you can see the pattern. But it's real easy. It took me a couple days, and I need to block it, and then I need to get it to her because she's got to seam it up with the other squares and get the blanket all assembled for the raffle. So it's done.
Yay!
It's just not blocked. Let's see what else.
Spinning.
I'll
go since you've been talking for a while. So I finished spinning the Nama Nama. Where it's tied. There it is. I tend to tie my yarn twice. Once with each end. So, and it really plumped up after I washed it. But this is Nama Nama in the Blackberry Jam colorway. Her Superwash BFL. And I got 350 yards, which is enough to do what, Leslie?
It's enough to do the Shaylin.
Yay! So I will be participating in Prairie Piper, Paula of the Knitting Pipeline, her Shaylin cow, which is going super strong over there. And if you're interested, it's still going. And she said in this week's podcast that people are welcome to still join. So I will be over there knitting this. like I'm actually going to physically be there. But I got 350 yards.
Hang out with Paula for a little while.
Oh, that'd be super. Anyway, 350 yards. It makes me super happy. I might have squeed yesterday when I got it to do that. Then the Dawning Dreams. Got the first bobbin of that finished. So that's what that looks like. Kind of see right there. It's sparkly and purple. Imagine that.
And this is one of the things that you're trying to spin up because you bought it at Arkansas,
yep.
right?
I'm trying to spin up all the stuff that I purchased at Arkansas last year, which I didn't realize how much it was until I tried to do it.
I'm sitting here thinking about all the things that the fiber, I don't know that I'll get through that.
Because I bought, the 2 skeins of Tempted to make my wish. That's what that was from. Mm-hmm. And then I have quite a bit of Tempted's fiber, which we'll get to in a second. But this is Dawning Dreams. And it was a gorgeous bat. And here's the second half. I would have started it, but I have a flat tire on my wheel. Not literally, but figuratively. My drive band has gotten stretched over the 5 years that I've owned that wheel. So I have a ladybug, and it has more plastic, rubbery poly bands. And so I cut it to make it smaller. And I tried remelting it and, rolling it between my fingers to make it reform the join, but I haven't tried it since then. It might work. We'll see. But anyway, I have to do the second half of this, and then after that, there's a lot of plastic bag rustling today. I apologize. This was another thing that I purchased at Arkansas Fiber Arts. I got 2 rovings from our lovely friend Stacy when I was there. And this is the first that I got. It was 4 ounces, super washable in Tree Hugger. And actually, our friend Lisa is spinning this right now in her spindle, and it's looking gorgeous. And I have total envy.
It looks so familiar.
So I'm going to have to spin this up, and I cannot wait. And actually, it'll probably be on my wheel when we go and visit Stacy, so that'll be fun. And if not this, then I have another skein of her cashmere blend that I bought, and then I am done with spinning everything that I got.
See, I've got the cashmere blend. I got it in Perfect Union, which is a purple and red, and then I've got 3 1-ounce bats from, I can't remember the name of the shop.
Straw and Gold.
Straw and Gold. Yeah, there you go. Fucking Rain Man.
I only know because I already spun my stuff from there.
Okay, see, I didn't, and I bought it to do a gradient, and I still want to do a gradient. I just haven't had time, but yeah, I probably won't make that deadline, but that's okay. Maybe I will. What are we talking about? Spinning. Okay.
Yeah.
So I finished spinning the fiber optic yarns, which was 85% BFL, 15% silk in the Mad Monet colorway, which is just a bunch of sort of pastel-y colors. And I've got more out of the gray singles than I did the gray Miss Fab singles than I did the fiber optic singles, which is typical because the gray was a tinsel blend and it spins itself really fine. But this is what I got out of the 2 together.
So it was 8 ounces that you
8 ounces
together.
altogether. This was 746 yards of probably a heavy fingering in most places.
That'll be a gorgeous shawl. I told her she should make my wish out of it.
She had, and she suggested my wish about 7 times in the past couple weeks. So, and I do intend to knit it at some point. So that's what I got most of the yardage out of, and then I still had a pretty good amount left on the gray bobbin. So what I did was I took the bobbin and my Lazy Kate up to my knitting room, and I wound it carefully and slowly on my ball winder, my cake maker, ball winder. And then I took the end from the outside and the end from the inside and just made a 2-ply
Did you put your thumb in the middle?
I did.
So yeah, that's a great tip, by the way. If you're doing and winding a ball on a ball winder to then ply back on itself, stick your thumb in the middle.
It'll keep it from getting tangled and just causing heartbreak. Because I've been there. So anyway, this is what was left of the singles when I plied it on itself to make a 2-ply. It plumped up quite a bit, and they haven't even been washed yet. And this is 107 79 times 2, 158 yards, I think, of 2-ply in the gray. So I got a pretty decent altogether. I got
a great amount of yardage altogether.
150 plus, yeah, I got close to 1,000 yards. A little over 900 yards for the two together. So I'm pretty happy with it.
That'd be a gorgeous shawl, I think.
Would it be a gorgeous thin ice, you think?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
So I have to wash it, but I didn't finish winding it off and everything until like 11:30 last night. So that's it.
So that's it for spinning. We have a book review to do. Vogue Knitting was gracious enough to send us a copy of their Mittens and Gloves book.
And that's from the 6th and Spring Publishing.
And this is a republished, it's a collection of their most popular mitten and glove and fingerless glove patterns over the past, I'd say, 5-6 years, maybe even longer. So if you own all the Vogue Knitting magazines, you don't need this book. Yeah, because you already have all the patterns.
So it gives a brief introduction, and I'll go ahead and say my favorite thing about this book is the makeup in the book. It is Vogue, so the makeup is done really well. The first one is the and I'm not going to show you every one, but I'm going to show you a bunch. Trellis mittens.
And that's the cover.
Mm-hmm. And I'm down with them, except for the baubles, but I would just remove those.
I would change the color. Pale yellow isn't my favorite.
Let's see, what else?
I love those.
I love this picture altogether. I just think it's a really well done picture.
And those were done by Jared Flood, and the pattern name is
Multi-Pattern Tweed Mittens. And it's knit out of Jamison's. And I just think it's a really well done picture. I do like the mittens too, but the picture is my favorite. Look at those charts. Yeah, also.
That's what sold me on the issue that they did on mittens a few years ago. Were the mittens by him? I thought were just gorgeous. These are not gorgeous.
These are different. They have both embroidery and pom-poms and some braiding on there. They're the tapestry mittens. They're a little bit crazy.
I just don't have the patience for that much embroidery, I think.
Pom-poms would get in my way. Let's see. These I really liked.
I love these. These are gorgeous.
They're by Tanis Gray, and they're Hugs and Kisses mittens. But I like them even in the color combination they're in the book. I think that they're done really well, and it seems like it'd be a nice introduction to color work. A nice sort of way to get your feet wet without anything too crazy and complex. These are another, I think, a good introduction, and they also have a good tutorial on corrugated ribbing. I didn't even look to see what they're called. The Alpine mittens. But I think that they're cute. And I'm skipping a lot because I don't want to make this a 50-minute book review.
So those were that was the mittens section.
Yeah, that was just Smitten with Mittens. This
and
section
were
is
lovely and amazing.
We are punny.
And I like these. They're very, very high. There's a lot of opera-length gloves in here.
Yep. They're Ellie Steuben Rocks. Cabled opera gloves, I think is what they're called. Expanding cable gloves, I'm sorry. I actually think they're pretty. I like them quite a bit.
I could see myself wearing them on a night out on the town. And they're out of Louette Gem's fingering, and I have quite a bit of that in the stash.
I think we all do. This is the Modern Erin Gauntlets and Hat.
So sometimes there's a hat or a scarf pattern that goes with the glove or mitten pattern.
This is by Deborah Newton.
There's a lot of pom-poms there.
Cable-rific.
I love the cables. I'm not so much of a fan of the pom-poms, but that's easily not an issue.
There's baubles, too.
Leslie loves baubles.
I like the detail on these. I would probably never knit them, but they're called the Embroidered Gauntlets, and they're by Nikki Epstein.
I like the simplicity of the background pattern, and then you could dress it up with the embroidery if you needed to.
But even if nothing else, it's a good simple glove pattern. You don't have to do all the extra stuff if you don't want to. But it's a good way to learn gloves. But it does show you, it does have a diagram of how to do the embroidery as well. These are, your typical lace simple gloves, and they're by, let's see, Lisa Hoffman, and they're just called the Leaf Lace Gloves. I think that they're pretty. I've knit some similar to that, so they were in pink. Laura liked these, the quick and easy wristlets.
I do, because I wanted to show these just because there is a variety of difficulty in the patterns in here. So there are some that are extremely difficult, and then there are some that are very, very simple, and everything in between, and as well as a wide variety of skills. Now, I know I bought the pattern for this next one of Vogue because I just remember these and think happiness and sunshine.
The rainy day fingerless gloves, which I think are super cute, and someone should make them for me. Because I would never go through that much trouble for myself. If somebody else asked for them, I probably would.
I think they're adorable.
They're very cute. It's hard to tell, but they have a lace cuff and a stockinette hand. They're the Pico Edge gauntlets, and it's just an issue of the yarn is too dark and it's hard to see. But the model looks very unhappy too. She looks very passionate about
90s, late 90s, goth.
Uma Thurman almost.
Yes, there you go.
I love this picture. These are by Linda Sear. They're sporty chevron arm warmers. And on the opposite end of the Vogue spectrum, look how happy she is. But I think that they're cute.
They're very neonerific. I did them in different colors, but I think they'd be a good, simple, especially young adult pattern.
A way that the kids can spruce up their outfits.
I'd also be happy in the middle of winter to see that. Like the edge of this popping out underneath your
when you're covered in snow and everything else is...
This reminds me of Victoria's Secret angels from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
It's called the Snowball Muff.
And it's just the way it's done just reminds me so much of the Victoria's Secret angels.
Have you been wondering what to do with those skeins of fun fur in your stash? Well, now you know.
There you go.
You can knit yourself a muff.
I've never actually ever used a muff, I don't believe.
I haven't either. You can't do anything. You can walk and be pretty, but you can't, like... You could maybe, if you made it big enough, you could maybe knit inside of a muff if it was like stockinette.
Just be sitting in the back of your carriage.
The button-on sleeves I tagged because I'm not certain of the practicality of such an item, but it is interesting in concept.
They're also made out of Lion brand, which is very, very interesting to me because I don't think Vogue and Lion brand, I don't believe that yarn's even around anymore. It's Lion brand Incredible, which was a nylon, kind of like, not a rickrack, but a ribbon yarn.
Yeah, it was a flat ribbon. And then these are a good, simple, convertible mitten pattern, and they're just called convertible mittens. And I think this model is pretty, too. I'm focusing too much on the models, I think, but it's a simple, intro to how to do the flip-top mittens, which are a great Christmas gift. So, overall, if you don't already have the Vogue books, I think that there's enough good basic patterns in here.
Definitely, and enough that you could use. I think there's enough in there to use, especially for Christmas presents, for any woman. I'm kind of disappointed in the lack of man.
Yeah, I didn't see a single
men's pattern. There's not a single men's pattern in there, which I think is a little bit disappointing, but it's very Vogue. I think Vogue and Interweave sometimes bypass the men's patterns quite a bit.
There's a small how-to in the back with basic stitches as well as some of the specialty things that you have to learn to do in the book. Like how to make pom-poms, grafting for you to bind off,
back there too.
Duplicate stitch, I-cord. Yeah, I think Bobbles are back here too. So, it's not one that I necessarily need because I already have so many glove patterns, and same with Laura, who outranks me.
I have all the Vogues, so I don't need it.
Plus, so this is going to be our giveaway this week. When was this published? I think it's relatively new, isn't it?
The last 2 years, I would say.
I'm trying to find the page that tells me that. 2010. So, with winter coming up for most of us, I think that this would be a great item to win. So, for this week's giveaway item, what we're going to do is we'll put another raffle copper thing at the bottom of the entry on the blog.
And it retails for $24.95.
You saw that somewhere and I didn't.
Okay, life lesson. If you look at the barcodes on the back of books, there is a little barcode off to the side, and it might start with a 5, but the last 4 digits on that are the price of the book.
Let me see. Oh. Things you learn from your librarian friends.
Or people who worked at Borders for 6 or 7 years.
So if you want the copy of the book, then just leave a comment on the blog and then click the little button that says I did that on the Rafflecopter widget, which will need your phone for the giveaway later.
Okay.
So passing on some of our good fortune to you guys. So we can go ahead and do, well, no, I'll let you talk while I get to the page and everything, because it'll take a second.
Okay.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. So, the Stash Dash, or happy birthday to Megan.
Well, let's wish our dear, sweet, adorable friend a happy birthday.
So, it's Megan, who's also known as Crafty Pancake's birthday today. And her boyfriend Justin did good. Did you see what he got her? Super cool. So, we just wanted to wish Megan a very happy birthday.
Yes, and I missed you. And we will see you very soon.
Yes, and that's super exciting. On a totally different note, I do need, if you have not already sent me your address for Stash Dash buttons, and you did complete Stash Dash, please don't send me your address if you didn't. Then, if you could send it to me, I'd like to get the rest of those out of Leslie's house. She would appreciate it too.
My son is in there right now sticking labels on envelopes. He is a little Junior Awesome Sweatshop right now.
Surf labor for the win. So, we're trying to, I think I have around 100 people's addresses, and we're just trying to finish up the last couple. Although, if you send it to me anytime in the next 6 months, I'll send you a button. Don't worry about it. We do have a Cakewalk Yarns coupon going on, like Leslie said earlier. If you would like to support the amazing Cakewalk Yarns chick,
get yourself some weenie.
Then you can. She has free shipping going on for our viewers, and the coupon code for that is TheKnitGirlls with 3 L's 10.
So TheKnitGirlls 10. Okay.
And that's about it.
Winners.
So we're going to give the new Cakewalk Yarns away.
And people who won all the way back to the art yarn, I haven't shipped it yet because we're out of envelopes. So I'm getting envelopes this week and I will ship it. So it hasn't gotten lost in the mail. I'm very sorry. All right. So we have 2 things to give away this week. Sorry for the rustling. The first is the
lovely Aran Weight in the Tree Frog colorway.
And let's click the...
And that is 181 yards of lovely superwash merino goodness. It would be a wonderful starving artist or starving musician, or see what else bulky. If you wanted to get a plain color, you could totally do the hat that I'm making, the frostbite hat out of it. There's a lot that you can do with that much yardage of awesome squishy Aran.
Okay, it said I was logged in and then I wasn't logged in. So
I hate you.
I'm sorry.
It's squishy.
I know.
And it's got some lovely blues and greens and browns and a hint of gold.
And then this one too.
And then the second prize is going to be the little Cakewalk Yarn sample pack, which has her footsie, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 40 yards, and then chalkboard colorway. I really like that. It's a gray with pops of blue. That would be perfect for you hexapuffers. Spring, which is 100% superwash merino, 20 yards, and granita?
And it looks like
Granita. 20 yards of that, which is a very pretty, slightly variegated pink. Walk, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 40 yards in the Kim colorway, which is that pretty green. And then Squish, which is the superwash merino, Aran Weight, and Big Betty, 20 yards of that. So it's a good way to try out her different weights and yarns.
So which should we draw for first?
Let's draw for the Aran Weight first.
I'm going to click the Add a Winner button.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, it's Amy Shelton, and she tweeted about the giveaway. So Amy, I will send you an email and tell you and get your address for the Aran Weight. So now we can give away the other one.
So the second,
Add a Winner again.
A little sample pack.
Let's see, and that is Lynn Bruff. I'm not going to give out her email address online, but so Lynn, you won the sampler pack, so congratulations.
Did she tweet or did she leave a comment?
She left a comment on the blog. She was
Awesome.
number 114, and then Amy was number 24. So
Cool.
I didn't even look to see how many comments we had. We had a bunch, though.
We had quite a few, and I was very impressed with the number of new viewers that we had that came over from Wendy's blog. Thank you so much, Wendy.
We love Wendy.
Or other various places. We do have a Ravelry group. Y'all are welcome to join that.
And we got the interview with Lexi Boger. I finally stopped being lazy and just finished what I needed to finish and got it up this morning. So it's on the blog. You probably already, if you subscribe on iTunes, it probably got to you before this episode did. So we want to thank Lexi again because that was a lot of fun.
Most definitely.
Let's see.
If you're attending the SSK, there is an awesome CAL that's going to start over there. And basically what we're doing is if you participate in the CAL and finish with the knit along.
CAL is knit along,
yes.
sorry.
And finish within the parameters, that time period, you get little tickets to... So how we're doing door prizes at the SSK is you put tickets into the ones that you want to win.
So basically what we'll have, we'll have sort of a table with prizes out there, and each one will have a box or bag or something in front of it. And if you want to enter for that particular prize, you put your ticket in that bag or box or whatever. We'll have a bunch for you to choose from. And we're going to do a different designer every 6 weeks leading up to SSK. Our first one is Wendy Johnson.
Yay.
So Wendy's got 4 books for you to pick patterns from. And
plus numerous of other patterns and tons of free patterns as well.
Yeah, she's got tons of free stuff if you prefer that. And so you can earn extra points. I think you get 3 if you just do the knit along, just, you know, any yarn in the time frame. And you get 5 tickets if you do the knit along in one of the vendors' yarns. And we have a link on the supersummerknitaway.com that tells you who's going to be vendors. And then if you knit out of hand spun from fiber that came from one of our vendors, you get 7 tickets. And you don't
so
have
if
to
I was
spin
to spin this up or pay someone else to spin this up and use this, then I would get more tickets.
Right. But you only can count 1 project towards the knit along because it would just be unfair otherwise. People could do like a bunch of little hats or something. And I think that probably in the future we'll try to limit the SSK announcements to the very end because, you know, not everybody that wanted in got in. So I don't want to be insensitive to the people that didn't. I got some awesome mail this week. Laura gave it to me.
It came to me because I got a package when I got my square swap from Emo, and then I've just been so lazy about getting it over here. It's been floating in the bottom of my big, huge purse for a couple weeks.
So I got a package from Eat My Oxygen. Well, Laura did, from Eat My Oxygen on Ravelry, who's a friend of ours. And I got 2 things in this little package. The first are stitch markers that look like little eyeballs. They just make me so happy. And then the second, it was a while ago, we were on Plurk, and her daughter Anna was asking for ideas on what to draw a picture of. And so I told her to draw a picture of a pony with a rainbow that was like the happiest pony. I was just trying to make something up. And she did.
And she sent it to you.
Yeah. And
it was way back if it was by your birthday.
Yeah, it was like right before my birthday. So Anna, thank you very much. This is very sweet, and I will keep it forever. And it's a pony with wings, with a rainbow, with snow, I think, on the outside.
Sparkle glitter, maybe.
So, that's very sweet.
It's very cool. Signature also sent you a package this week.
I told y'all last week about my broken size 6s that were broken. Sorry. Not very literate today. Anyway, so I sent them back, and Signature was great. They sent an RMA. I didn't have to pay for shipping either way. It was very quick, and I got my replacement ones back, so I'm already using them for my thermos. So these are my size 6, my 4.0 millimeter, I think. 4.0 millimeter. So less than 2 weeks, I sent them back. They sent me a replacement. Didn't have to pay for postage either way. So I just got a 2 signatures horn. That's fantastic customer service, and I'm thrilled with it, and they have a lifelong customer in me.
So we have a spin along / knit along coming up in our group, and that is for some fiber that was dyed or yarn dyed by Cloud Lover. We're just going to continue to make you get stuff.
Yeah. I'll have to show y'all what I'm going to spin next too. So this is the yarn, and it's in the Haunted Vineyard colorway, and this is 400 yards of, I think it's a BFL. I don't have the tag.
It's a
superwash
nylon blend.
Okay. And then this is 4 ounces of the Polworth fiber. This is $22. This is
No.
That's
$19.22.
And you can go to cloudlover.com and find all that. And you have to pre-order it. And what she'll do is, I think we're keeping orders open until the 22nd is what we said. Let me check and make sure that that is correct. Yeah, the 22nd. And then she'll dye everything up and ship it out. She's going to try to ship it out first week of November or by the first week of November. So,
and I'm taking pattern suggestions. There's a thread on our Knit Girls Ravelry group, and I will keep that open until Thursday night. At that point, I'm going to go through and post the 6 or 7 patterns that we're going to use, because I know some people are holding off on ordering the yarn or the fiber until they decide what pattern. So they kind of look and see what pattern.
The way that you vote is you go through that thread, and if there's a pattern that you like that's been suggested, click the love button of that post. If there's not one that you like, suggest one.
Yep.
And then, you know, if enough people click love, we'll take the top, whatever, 5, 6, 7
yep.
or so, and you'll be able to knit any of those to be eligible for any prizes that we do.
And then last but not least, I had to move my hand knit socks to a new drawer because this was my randomness this week. I ran out of space. I have those little like plastic drawers that I keep my hand knit socks in, and I had run out of space in the small 3-stack one, so I had to go to a larger 3-stack one. And as I was doing that, I was counting the pairs of socks I have, and I have 50 pairs of hand knit socks, so that's kind of crazy. But it was kind of fun to go through, because sometimes a pair gets shoved to the back and I don't see it for a couple months. So it was nice to go through and see them and give them a little bit of pampering and love. Rewash some, even though I washed them before I put them in there.
50 pairs of hand knit socks.
I do.
I think I have maybe 2 dozen. Maybe. I think. I'm getting off count here.
And it's funny because I knit socks a lot for Mom. Mom gets at least 2 to 3 pairs of hand knit socks from me, plus some from you, plus some from Becky. Yeah, so she's probably pretty close up there as well.
God, it just reminds me I need to make my holiday list of people to make things for. It's so depressing.
I bought a lot of stuff this week.
Oh.
So I tend to buy from Etsy and some other places, so I got a good bit of my Christmas shopping, a good dent into it this week.
I forgot to show y'all what I was going to spin next, because Laura asked me before we started. And what I'm going to spin next has been kind of quietly calling to me. And it's diabolical, and it's 100% superwash wool. It's BFL.
I love it.
And there's no colorway name, because she doesn't name her colorways.
Only her one.
Her one-offs.
Her one-offs.
Her what's left in the dye pots thing. But anyway, I really like it. I think it's crazy and bright and will give me lots of color. Because I struggle sometimes when I spin like a solid color fiber. It's just hard to keep my interest. But
are you going to fractal spin that? Because that'd be lots of fun.
I don't know what I'll do with it. But it'll be fun, and I'll start spinning on it sometime this week probably. If I can get some good progress on the sweater, because right now my goal is going to be, well, after today, because today is knit whatever you want day.
Knit or spin or crochet or sew or do what you want. We're not the bosses of you.
Work on the thermos for the rest of today, and then I'm going to work on my sleeve, and hopefully by next week I'll at least have the body joined. I'd like to have the whole sweater done in time for our visit to DC. So,
which I'm so excited about.
I am too. We get to meet LB.
I know.
We get to spend some time with Wendy, so that's good. I'm going to take my box of socks and my Wendy Knits lace for her to sign. I have her first 2-3 books signed, but I don't have the box signed and I don't have the lace book signed. So, yeah. Okay.
Fun times.
That's it. I think again, if you want to enter to win the Vogue, and we'll take all the stickies off.
Unless you want us to keep the stickies.
The Vogue Knitting Mittens and Gloves, then you just go to our blog, TheKnitGirls3ls.com, and on this particular episode 80, and you have to do it by the next time that we record, which will be Sunday, the 16th, I think. Then we'll draw names. That's it, I think.
And after that, our recording schedule might be a little bit off. I just want to warn people ahead of time. Because we're going to Stacy's Tempted house, so we're driving back on Sunday.
Yeah,
so
we may or may not record when we're there. I don't know, but either way, it won't get uploaded there. because Stacy doesn't have the same variety of internet options that we do here, and I don't want to use up all of her bandwidth. So.
And then the week after that, I'm trying to get Leslie to go to Murfreesboro. And then the week after that, we're with Wendy. So we're doing a lot of travel in the next month. So hopefully, I've said so too many times, I can just hear it in my head. Hopefully, we'll get stuff up at least on a weekly basis. It might just be later in the week.
Yeah, Monday or so. But we'll keep y'all updated. You know, you can always friend us on Plurk, and we tend to put a lot of stuff, or Ravelry, or Facebook, or Twitter. You know how to find us. We're not hard to find.
Google Plus. I'm probably going to be hanging out there later today.
I've got editing and uploading to do. So. That's it, I think. So we'll see you guys. So, see, now I'm the sew monster right now. Oh, God.
We'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.